In this video, we will review one of the best animated films ever made from start to finish. The bear's Charlie's backstory revolves around the meeting of three grizzly bears, Panda Bear and Ice Bear, each with their own unique personalities, dreams, and visions. The narrative revolves around their existence as talking animals in human society. The narrative firefighters respond to a violent downpour. During the pitch darkness in an unfamiliar area, a small grizzly bear was trapped in a tree until firefighters came to its rescue. The firefighters wondered how the little bear had climbed the tree, but the bear seemed safe and was holding their hand.
Eventually, he grew up and found a host family of humans. The strange thing was that he could talk. In reality, Brown Bear was an actor in a comedy show rather than a member of the family. He did his best to stay with them, even though he found out that the family was not real and was unaware that a new child had been added and replaced in the show, but it was still changed at this point. He decided that he should go and look for a real family somewhere else in the world. There was a little panda bear in the zoo. Because he was a lab rat, they were giving him food through the ventilation hole. When the guards saw that the bear was depressed and lonely, they gave him a panda puppet, which he saw as a friend.
Panda Bear became interested in television after realizing one day that the world outside the window was different from his own. Panda Bear decided to escape from the ventilation hole, and the guards could not catch him. In addition to saying goodbye to the puppet, he began to look for a real family. The story of this Zed bear was the most tragic. The depiction of a small bear at the North Pole made him look for a family who had died, or it seemed to indicate that he was away from his family, which could be haunted. Gen T came across a tent while foraging for food. When he went inside, the man unwittingly tried to kill him, but he was injured, and the ice bear saved him. The man who chose to keep the bear taught him everything he needed to know about humans. Even though the polar bear was not supposed to touch the man's box, he did this when he found out that his name was Yuri. After seeing an old photo of Yuri's family, the polar bear decided to make him a wooden horse just like in the photo. However, this infuriated Yuri and kicked the ice bear out of the house. Before some hunters discovered him, the ice bear ran away in tears, and it turned out that he was also haunted in his family. In any case, Yuri was angry and kicked him out. When the polar bear first arrived in a crowded town, he had no idea how to behave. He tried to buy food from a bakery but was turned away, so he sobbed and sobbed. A few mischievous children approached him. Then he befriended them. They then tried to break into the baker's bakery and steal his money to get revenge on him. Yuri paused in doing so because it was a great month and he didn't like her. She managed to escape when the police arrived and made the decision to leave the children in search of a better life. Alright, now we've come to the exciting part now. Let's talk about where they met in a faraway place. When the brown bear stumbled upon a railway track and saw that the panda was imprisoned there, he decided to continue his search, thinking that he had finally found a friend who looked like him and rushed to his aid. They were running for their lives when the train arrived unexpectedly, but the ice bear saved them. Although they were from different species, the three got along so well that they chose to become brothers and sisters, looking for a family inside a box that no one wanted to take. They arrived in the desert, but the box was taken, so they continued searching until they came to a packing factory. The bears encountered Dave and Carla, who were missing again, and tried to escape until they succeeded. The bears found an inflatable watercraft in a plane wreck where David was trying to hide. They took it and put Carla's spare on the road. Unfortunately, they were hit by a boat. After they were rescued, the snow left them in the middle of the ocean. After drifting off the coast of Japan, they tried to get used to life on Earth by getting on a plane to Sweden, but they were almost destroyed. But all they got was crept. Instead of squandering the $100 they found, they decide to act like a family, because they had no idea what to do with this money. After several encounters, they meet a robot who can predict the future and tells them that they will have a long and happy life together, and that they must stick together. The bears went to school in Mexico and wrestled in their hands. They learned to walk on top of each other, play basketball, and work as paper dolls. They went to a pet museum where they were bought by a rich man who was tired of stuffed animals. They tried to escape with the help of King Kong, like in the film. But in the end, the man freed them and gave them an airplane so that they could fly. They later realized that this was their permanent home. They went to the beach and built a sand house, but naturally a big wave damaged the house. After a few episodes, we saw the bears getting used to living among humans. And in one episode, there was a mummy that rolled off a vehicle when they tried to take it back to the museum. In a film, over time, the bears become poor and homeless. Once they find a lucky amulet, which they believe is magical and will allow them to buy a house. After stealing a raccoon amulet, they go into the forest and discover a cave where they decide to build a house. After a while, they are in danger of losing their home due to plans to demolish it and build a telecom tower in its place. Nevertheless, they protest and show that they have lived here for a very long time. In this house, where they gain financial security, they meet many people from the city, including the arrogant Koala Nom Nom, who constantly takes advantage of bears and is obsessed with his own ideas. They also meet Cole, a young Korean girl who is introverted and has low self-esteem. This is why she has no friends. When watching him on Adventure Time, his dad was initially against him befriending the bears, but changed his mind after seeing how trustworthy and positive the bears would be for him. Well, for CC, there is a scary chupacabra lurking in the woods. In episode 13 of the first season, the bears see him for the first time. And stories of a monster roaming the woods start circulating until he comes to their house and shows that he is a pretty normal person. At first, he was rejected by the bears, but eventually warmed up to him. Charlie doesn't like the camera. Therefore, it was difficult for him to get used to life in the human world, but he still makes an effort to adapt. Let's take a brief look at Charlie's past. Now, let's take a brief look at Charlie's past. In 1913, he was traveling around the world looking for a friend. He was in the Mexican desert when he arrived at an abandoned house with an unconscious man. He found that the man was a thief liar and a member of the Chupacabra hunters. The other hunters wanted to take the man away from them, but Charlie managed to escape them and save the victim. Meanwhile, according to American legend, Chup Cross are actually blood-sucking creatures. The episode had an evil Chupacabra trying to harm the bears. The latest episode was actually a film released in 2020 where the bears were sent to stand trial in prison for all the bad things they caused. The agent Trout thought they were a threat to humanity, so he put him in jail. The bears escaped and decided to go to Canada, and thought they had met many people until they reached the borders. They were not allowed to enter because they did not have passports. Panda and Brown Bear got into a fight because it was Boz who convinced them that they didn't need a passport, and suddenly the agent Alab kidnapped them and separated them. Bozai then sat sadly in his cage and thought that it was all his fault, but he decided that they would not give up, and he saved his friend by escaping from the cage. They all got into a fight with the agent, and this also caused a fire. All the bears on the stage made a ladder using their bodies to hang onto the helicopter, and escape agent Trout probably wanted to test them because they were talking to themselves. Conscious bears unlike the other bears on the stage, and who knows, maybe the Uller locked the panda up when he was small. Anyway, this was the summary of the film Bears, which was broadcast on Cartoon Network program. I hope it was useful to you. I hope you understood the story even if it was a little bit. Please do not forget to take care of yourself. Like and subscribe to the video. Please do not forget to like and subscribe to the video. See you in the next video. Goodbye.